Hello and welcome to Atop the Fourth Wall, where bad comics burn. Well, it's 2010 now, and we should start things off fresh. None of that bad political commentary or Liefeld-esque proportions. So that's why I'm reviewing Pitt. Wait, Pitt? Whole new year, same old crap. Let's dig into Pitt number 1.
Welcome to Atop the Fourth Wall, where bad comics burn. Linkara's gonna teach you all a lesson you won't learn. Brodsky, you're not the smartest. Liefeld, you're not an artist. Anyone who's had a bad comic published, it could be your turn. Linkara, he's a man punch, wears a party hat. Linkara, he has a magic gun. Where'd he purchase that? Linkara, coins, robots, Amazons and trucks. Linkara, this comic sucks. Linkara.
First, a little background on the creator and artist, Dale Keown. Nothing really spectacular to say about the guy, but mostly just because from what I can tell from Google searches, he's wasted potential. For early Image comics, his art isn't all that bad, though it suffers a lot of the same problems. No, the real problem I'm seeing is that the guy is incredibly lazy. Pitt number 1 came out in January of 1993. When did the second issue hit? July. It took them 5 years for the series to actually end at issue number 20. That's All-Star Batman and Robin levels of bad. This is really something I'm losing patience over. There are plenty of artists in the industry who are perfectly capable of keeping a monthly schedule with maybe the occasional hiccup. 52 was a weekly series that managed to come out on time every week. Hell, even Countdown, as completely bad as it was, still managed to come out on time every week. And those were just with rotating artists. The third weekly series, Trinity, boasted Mark Bagley doing more than half of every issue, and they all came out on time. I have a weekly title card artist who only missed last week's because of Christmas. CR not only does his Familiar Faces show, but also draws my webcomic Lightbringer on a weekly basis. Bottom line, if you can't commit to doing a monthly book, don't pretend that you can or expect us to wait for you! Anyway, onto the comic itself. Hey, look, it's his face. Can't you just imagine walking into a comic book store, looking at the rack of new comics and seeing this ugly mug shoved into your face? Actually, there's something familiar about this cover.
I look above to the gods, and when you fall below the skeletons...
If I see one mention of destrucity or skronking, then I'm calling it quits. The cover also wishes to tell us that this is the rippin' first issue. And I'm fully prepared to make that literal. We open to New York City at 3 a.m. A motorcycle gang called the Vipers is driving around, generally acting like imbeciles. We have yet to see if they'll start playing card games on their motorcycles, or if they're just your standard kind of stupid. It's a milk run. You get your kicks where you can. Come on, guys, let's go get some milk! Woohoo! They come to a stop when they spot an over-muscled figure approaching them. Do you see what I see? A star, dancing in the night! No, believe it or not, this abomination against physiology is actually our title character, Pitt. Is this guy for real? Yeah, but by all logic, he shouldn't be. Hey, where's your spandex, pal? Oh, Steve, you want to do stand-up. Bring him down, Brick. Okay, now that is funny. He's clearly 3 times your size, and you even acknowledge he should be in superhero garb, and you think your dingbat motorcycle gang has any chance against him? You might as well send a gang of recumbent bicyclists for all the good it's gonna do. Naturally, their attacks are as effective as poking him with a wiffle bat. One of the gang decides to drive right at him. My old man always said, finish what you start. Okay, this may have been the wrong time to start following my parents' advice. So yeah, Pitt has grabbed him by the face. I don't think he quite gets the idea of got your nose. Of course, despite the fact that Pitt is just wailing on them, ramming their heads into the various surroundings, the bikers don't even consider running away. No, instead they feel the need to reference Scarface and blast away at Pitt with a machine gun.
Say hello to my little friend!
When they stop to reload, Pitt grows longer nails, because he wasn't silly looking enough already, and decides to attack them in a 2-page horizontal spread that I have to flip around in order to read, cementing my hatred of this comic. Pitt decides that he doesn't want to break a nail considering their new length, opting instead to shove his gaping maw right at the reader. Hey, didn't get enough of Pitt's face from the cover? Then enjoy a few more panels of his dental work. We cut to a little kid waking up. So it was all a dream. Maybe the real comic can start up now. Is this night ever going to end? No! Save tonight! Fight the break of dawn! Come tomorrow! Tomorrow I'll be gone! The kid's grandfather comes in to comfort him, since apparently he's been having nightmares for a while of this sort, made all the worse by the fact that the kid's parents were recently killed in an issue of Youngblood. Yes, sadly, this is yet another book that ties into Youngblood. Yeah, back in the early days of Image Comics, they really did try to make us think that most of their books took place in the same universe. And it's really depressing to think that anyone wanted to have their stuff be in any way connected to Youngblood. We cut to the police station, or as the caption box puts it, elsewhere. Not sure why the ambiguity of its location, since it says 14th Precinct right there. A woman named Bobby Harris is introduced to the cops and is assigned to a case involving a subway car that occurred in the Youngblood issue that this takes place after. Hey, that's my case! It's not your case, Smithers. Hooker's a good cop! You can't take the law into your own hands! What about the rights of that little girl? The mayor's on my ass about this case! This is not your personal war! I gotta have more cowbell! I was frozen today! And so forth. By the way, you know it's bad when this scene is easily the best drawn in the whole book. Sure, it seems crowded in the panels, but compare it to the earlier shots of Pitt fighting the motorcycle gang. In New York, you expect a police station to be crowded and a bit hectic and there's genuine grittiness. Whereas in the fight, I can't follow half the panels because they're so disjointed and disorganized. Random lines have been shoved in for the detailing and shading. The old nemesis of Image Comics called backgrounds has once again retreated in favor of grimy shades of colors that are equally filled in with random lines. But on to the crappiness of the police scene. The lettering is awful, and that's gotta be a first for this show. I don't know what happened, but this is really a problem with earlier comics. While hand lettering gives a more natural feel to it, sometimes, like this one, it's really bleeding into itself, making a dark blob of incomprehensible text. You might as well just put a Rorschach test in place of the word balloons. Harley Quinn, Harley Quinn, Harley Quinn. Oh look, a bunny! The officers examine the photos of the subway station and aren't sure what to make of Pitt. One suggests that he might be a member of Youngblood, and once again, I have to give credit where it's due. Besides for Agent Smithers, and yes, that's his character's name, being upset over not being on the case alone anymore, the officers are all acting intelligently and not annoying. Smithers and Bobby Harris are told to go to the crime scene and hook up with the forensics team. And let's keep a lid on it. The press will be short-stroking this all over the place. Damn freedom of the press. God, I hate it! We cut to Pitt just standing in an alleyway talking to his caption boxes. For some reason, the caption boxes aren't capitalized in any way. That was unnecessary. Your actions were barbaric at best. Kill or be killed! You were capable of withstanding their attack without retaliation. We must use discretion. Who is he talking to? His steroids? I will not retreat from battle! I am a warrior! A warrior? Oh no. Oh no!
That's right, Hulk Hogan! The Tupperwares of victory have been filled, and the Puma gods and their holy spaceship have sent the power of the warriors to folk at our base.
Damn it, not you!
Will you not meet the challenge of the ultimate warrior? I will parachute from the waters of the sun to WrestleMania, Hulk Hogan, and there I will unite the power of the Hulkamaniacs with the power of the warrior, and together they will be destructionless.
Would you get out of here? You're gonna warp space and time again!
I will wear your hat like a bandana, Hulk Hogan. I think Esperanto is a legitimate language, and soon...
Leave! purge your memory of that, let's do something else instead.
I will not retreat from battle. I am a warrior.
Speaking of nonsensical bullcrap, Pitt has what I think is a flashback. Here we see some alien robot things talking to each other. Seer, if the given species is not functioning in harmony with itself, how might that same species affect positive change? By recognizing that the conflicts of the exterior world are a direct reflection of their own personal conflict. I have no idea who these people are. You are not getting me interested in them. The only true enemy is ignorance. Seer, I am unable to elevate the crystal without conscious effort. Nope, sorry, this is not working. It's just confusing and boring. Our crime? Spreading too much light throughout the universe. Be more interesting! So after all that nonsense, the narrative captions tell Pitt that he may serve an important role on this planet in its salvation. Great, why do I get the feeling that Pitt is going to be knocking on people's doors, telling them about how he's come to spread the word of Gorblat from Cestus 3? Meanwhile, at the subway station, apparently no one's bothered to tell people that the subway is closed, since Rosie O'Donnell here is throwing a hissy fit about missing her train. The cops are shocked to see some of the steel bars that have been bent, obviously by something with incredible strength. 17 years on the force and I never, and I mean ever, have I seen anything like this. I've just got 3 days left until retirement. Some days I just get so sick of the scum on the streets. No, you're out of order! I am the... Looks like somebody got bent out of shape. As the detectives walk off and speculate a bit, they don't notice the rather loud portal behind them made of scrubbing bubbles. However, that doesn't last long, as the zapping sound suddenly completely fills the area and they turn around in shock. Outside, Smithers gets to show us how much of an asshole he is by telling Harris how his last partner was jealous of him because I used to get all the chicks. Not women, mind you, I just used to work on a farm. Have you been an asshole all your life, or is this a recent development? Ooh, score 1 for the lady with changing font. As they hear the sounds of gunfire, they call for backup and head down. Civilians run past them, and we get this hilarious shot of a person going face first into a wall. I know that's gotta hurt, but what's supposed to be suspenseful drama only ends up being funny. Smithers tells Harris to wait for backup, but Harris wants to go in because of the possibility of civilians in danger. Are you on pace? World of Youngblood, do people recreationally shoot up Elmer's glue? They draw their weapons, and so our comic ends on a 2-page spread with huge gray abominations and this guy who has an arm bigger than his entire body. Because that's certainly practical and not completely stupid. This comic sucks! The story reveals nothing about the random mishmash of characters, the artwork is awful, and the dialogue cliched and unimpressive. In other words, it can only go downhill from here for the rest of the year.
Like a pinata, Hulk Hogan! I think Esperanto is a legitimate language, and soon the comments will crash down, and flying Pegasuses from the mythical lands will crash into David Bowie, and the never-ending story will have a 5th sequel, for truly, our story will never end, Hulk Hogan, except at WrestleMania, where many stories end, and I'm rambling on, and I have no idea where I'm going with this. I will wear your hat like a pinata, Hulk Hogan. I think Esperanto is a legitimate anguish, and soon the comets will align. I thought Murphy Brown was an underrated comedy for its time. I cried when Moonlighting was canceled, Hulk Hogan.